Hey everyone, this is Christopher Brower here with Daily Motor, and today we are driving a Mitsubishi, but not just any Mitsubishi, the 2022 Eclipse Cross. This car upset quite a lot of Mitsubishi enthusiasts, especially Eclipse enthusiasts, when it came out, because a lot of people thought that they spoiled the name with this new sort of crossover with like a slanted rear roof line, just kind of following the trends of the market nowadays. But anyways, here it is, new for 2022. We have a little bit of a facelift, a little bit different front and rear fascias. Lots of things on the exterior of this car that would give you the impression that it's a very sporty vehicle. We've got red trim, sort of a pinstripe thing that runs all the way along the bottom of the car. We've got a black badge on the grille. We've got these big sort of swooping chrome lines here across the front. Another aggressive body line here all the way through the side. And if we open this up, which is not power, that's manual, you can see that we have a carbon fiber bumper protector. It's not actually carbon fiber, but it appears to be, and a carbon fiber rear diffuser. Look at that. I mean, that's not really carbon fiber either, but they definitely want you to think that it is. While we're back here, let's take a look at the cargo space. It's not bad. Just kind of looks like every other SUV in this segment. Nothing to really get super excited about. We do have a spare tire back here, and in this little pouch here, Mitsubishi Motors with leather handles on the top. If we unzip this, we will find a rain poncho, a microfiber cloth, gloves, a light stick, pliers, a screwdriver, a flashlight, many of other things. There's a flathead screwdriver as well. There are zip ties. They've thought of that. We've got a bungee cord. We've got insulating tape, an emergency blanket. I mean, this is like the most proper toolkit slash emergency kit that I've ever seen in any car. So Mitsubishi, good job on that. They've given a very detailed sort of little kit here. It fits mostly into this little area. You kind of gotta force it. There it goes. No button, of course, to close this. There we go. When we step into the back seat, it's actually not too bad of a place to be. We've got heated rear seats in this SEL trim model. We've also got a cigarette lighter style power outlet back here for your sort of vintage phone charger. And the rear passengers have their own little sunroof, which I'll get to later in the video. And there's cup holders. There's a couple of them right there. Okay. The fake carbon fiber trim sort of vibe is carried into the interior. We've got it here on the rear window switches as well as on the front. Mitsubishi certainly wants you to think this is a very sporty vehicle, and you can see that with the pedals as well. Actually, let me show you those. Those are some sporty pedals right there. Carbon fiber, not actually carbon fiber, but it's up here as well. And let me go ahead and fire this thing up so I can show you the next sort of sporting thing on this Eclipse. The chime is horrendous. I apologize for the fact that you have to listen to that. Once you're inside the driver's seat, the cockpit of the Eclipse Cross, you'll see that the paddle shifters are column mounted. Check that out. I feel like I'm in a Maserati right now. There are lots of sort of mediocre interior materials in here, but you have to remember this is a $29,000 base price, top of the line Mitsubishi. So when you put it in that context, it's really not all that bad. This plastic is not the most horrendous thing I've ever seen. You know, all this, it really doesn't like creak too bad. It's not put together very poorly. Lots of pre-scratched piano black, but that's to be expected with pretty much anything nowadays. Lots of buttons still. We still have a volume knob. We've still got like a normal climate control system down here. Heated steering wheel button. heated seat buttons over here. Nothing in the interior is really set up in a way to which you wouldn't expect. Except for one thing, actually. I should go over that now before I'm driving. I mentioned earlier that we have 2 moonroofs, okay? I can put the one moonroof back with this button, but you can see that that's all that one does. So if I want to put that one back, I have to reach around and hit this button back here, which is, I guess, kind of okay because it is still reachable from the driver's compartment, but if you're driving, you have to sort of reach your hand back here to do it. Though I guess it's not necessarily important to have that rear one open while you're driving. But if you have a child back there that wants it open and they can't reach it, then you have to, do that whole thing with that. But other than that, mostly everything in here seems to make some sense. Oh, except for this. This car is equipped with a heads-up display, though it is not visible right now. If I want to enable the heads-up display, I have a little button down here, HUD. I then press that. Yeah, so then it emerges out of the dashboard. It's a very large piece of glass, very impeding to your line of sight, so I haven't really been using that. It's just one of those things where you just kind of have to laugh and go, "Aw, Mitsubishi, you really shouldn't have, but you did anyways." All right, well, enough of that. Let's go ahead and take this Eclipse Cross out on the Daily Motor test route. It is open. I'm really excited to go check it out. Charlie says we've got some new pavement, so let's go take this Eclipse Cross out on the road and see what it is like to drive. So believe it or not, this is actually the first Mitsubishi that I've ever driven. And given Mitsubishi's sort of recent reputation in the automotive world, I was not expecting this car to be any good in any way. But really, that is flat out. It's really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Got a green arrow here. Here we go. Yeah. So this Eclipse Cross is powered by a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. let me let you guess how much power it makes. No, it makes 152 horsepower, about 180 foot-pounds of torque. And that is back to, you will have guessed that, a CVT. Oh yes. Quite a sporty combination right there. But you may be thinking, oh, 1.5 liter turbo CVT, it at least probably gets really good gas mileage. No, no. 26 mpg on the highway. So really not too impressive for something with such a small engine. But you have to keep in mind that it's a little bit of a heavy SUV. It does have all-wheel drive, so give it a little bit of leeway there. Coming in now to the first corner. Looks like we've got fresh pavement on here. Look at that. Ooh, we're coming in. I am the first person to squeal that corner in a Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Coming in now to guardrail. Wow, this is all fresh. Oh, dude, the Ford Edge is taking the racing line. Look at that. What do you guys say we try out these column-mounted paddle shifters? Slap our stick over to the left, that puts us into manual mode. The paddles are actually pretty reactive, even though they aren't actually doing anything, since this is a CVT. So they should be reactive because they don't actually have to change any gears. Okay. Pretty solid paddle feel as well. It's very interesting, the sort of like sporting touches they've added to this extremely non-sporty car, but it's like a cool gimmick. Not many manufacturers do column-mounted paddle shifters, and I think that it's cool that they've added that in this car. The infotainment is mediocre. We do have wired Apple CarPlay, so that's a good thing. A volume knob, that is an excellent thing. I love that they haven't overcomplicated that. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, it works fine. There's our navigation. It's like a peach color. Interesting thing. It beeps every time you do anything. That includes if you're turning your volume up and down, you know, everything like that. It always makes some sort of a beeping noise, so that's not good. You can't scroll anywhere. Everything is just sort of in this main menu. Everything works pretty quickly. It's just not very visibly appealing as an infotainment system. But at least it works. And at least it has a volume knob. So I'm really not complaining on the infotainment there. That is honestly quite alrighty. Oh, it's an Eclipse Cross! Or is it? Is that an Eclipse? No, it's not. Okay. Just ignore that. I'm not brushed up on my Mitsubishis. I think that was like an Outlander or something. Here we go. Oh yeah. That was a lot of tire squeal at about 53 miles per hour. Right, well, while we're on here, let's test out the active lane keep assist feature sort of thing here. Yeah, so that's not actually a steering assist system, it's just a lane keep, so it'll, you know, ping you if you're going out of the lane and whatnot there. Yeah, it's not actually gonna steer the car. No, okay. We do also have adaptive cruise control, so that's pretty decent. This car is a lot more well equipped than I thought it was going to be. I really went into this thinking that it was going to be much worse than it actually is. So I'm pleasantly surprised. We've got leather seats in here. This armrest is very soft and like plush. Ooh, this is all new pavement here as well. Check that out. Oh, it's so quiet. There is something in the road here, though. Alright, we are going to take a little bit of a detour here so I can show you some of the different drive modes on this Eclipse Cross. Alright, as you can see, we are coming up to a little bit of a loose stone type pavement, but it's okay because Mitsubishi has thought of that. If we click the SAWC button over here, we can put the car into gravel mode. Oh yes. This car is a little bit scary floaty in some situations. I just felt it here on the gravel. Yeah. I also felt it a little bit on the entrance ramp. It's a little bit of an unsettling, oh god. Ooh. I think we were in gravel mode there, everyone. Let's put it back into normal mode. I felt it a little bit on that entrance ramp as well. Not the best feeling when you're going around a corner. Right, the cluster is not digital. As you can see, we do have a very small digital display in the middle, which is very inconvenient to have to control. You have to reach your hand up here, sort of behind the steering wheel, and you can use these arrows to cycle through all of your different modes, which beeps as well. Yeah, so you can go both ways though, which is nice. I don't know what the middle button does. It doesn't do anything, but yep, so that's a very distracting feature as well. Certain things are just slightly inconvenient sort of head scratchers, like the rear moonroof shade, the controls for that. Some things just don't really make sense, but as far as Mitsubishi goes, that's okay. So then, is the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross worth purchasing? Well, the base car starts around $25,000, so it is very cheap for its size and its segment. This SEL model base price is about $29,000. This one, as spec'd with sort of the sporty appearance and the black badge on the front and a couple of other things, is about $33,000. So for that price, I'm not too sure if it's worth, you know, paying $8,000 over what you could just get a standard one of these for when it's essentially the same car, minus just a couple of interior amenities. But I don't know that I would really purchase this car anyways. But if Mitsubishi's your thing, then here you go. Eclipse Cross. Yeah. Honestly, overall driving dynamics of this car are not bad. It does get a little bit floaty at times, but it's really not bad. It's like if someone you knew bought this car, you wouldn't be like, oh no. You would just be like, oh, okay. I mean, like, you'll be okay in this car. I mean, personally, I would not choose to purchase one, but it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, that should be their slogan. It's not great, but it's not terrible. All right, everyone. Well, that is going to conclude our drive of the 2022 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross SEL. Very indifferent on this car. It's really not so bad. Now I just need to drive a Mirage, and maybe I'll understand why Mitsubishi has the reputation that they do. Oh yes, power folding mirrors. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, this has been Christopher Brower with Daily Motor, and also, as always, drive on.